What's going on, Bulls Nation? This is going to be my Matas Buzelis breakdown video. I'm going to be showing you in this video what excites me the most about Buzelis on both sides of the floor, and stuff where I can see him having an immediate impact for the Bulls this upcoming season. Like right off the bat, I think this is going to be stuff that's going to translate immediately to the NBA. And then towards the end of this video, I am going to show you a few things where I am concerned about when it comes to Buzelis and stuff that he just very clearly just needs to work on. For him to become like a more complete player in the NBA. But before we get into it all, make sure to hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. You guys are truly the best community in the world. I am like eternally grateful that you guys are showing me the support. And I'm just so grateful for you guys, and I can't thank you guys enough. So I just want to say thank you so much for the 1,000 subscriber mark that we got in our past video. All right, so I'm gonna be starting on the defensive end for this video, and I'm going to show you stuff that this is the part that excites me the most when it comes to Buzelis. I think this is, we're going to see this like immediately in like almost every single game next season for Buzelis, and I'm just excited to see how the Bulls actually work with them on a defensive end. And I'm aware in the G League it's a little bit harder for him to like kind of get defensive schemes down, so I'm really excited to see how he works within an NBA level defensive scheme. So first play here is just showing his help defense, okay? And this is the part of Buzelis' defense I think is the most impactful, and it's his best attribute right off the bat. So right here, this is Buzelis. I'm going to circle him for you, and you're going to see him. This is just him watching the other side of the floor where the ball is, and he immediately recognizes, oh, well, these two defenders for the Ignite just completely had a miscommunication. They both went with the ball handler. That leaves the big man or the screener are wide open. And so Buzelis has to go from here all the way to here to contest this shot. And he does that in just a split second. There probably could have been a foul here on this play, but there was no foul call. But just that itself, where he's able to cover that ground and get a good contest off, that's impressive to me. Like, that right there is extremely impressive. So I'm expecting to see stuff like this already for next season. And I'm very excited to see this, because the Bulls have needed a good help defender for a long time on their team. So in this play here, I'm gonna point out that Buzelis is like the main guy back. Like, he's the first line defense back, okay? And he has to basically stop the ball. So this guy has the ball running down the middle of the floor, right? And Buzelis is the one in front of him. So his job is to either make him give up the ball or stop the ball. Don't let him get to the rim. And he forces this guy to basically shovel the ball over to the wing. And so now Buzelis recognized, okay, I'm no longer in position to be the main stopper of the ball. I got to change my defensive positioning. And you see he already starts retreating back towards the paint, which is such good defensive awareness, because now he knows that he's the help defender. He's no longer the primary defender or the on-ball defender. So he recognizes that. He gets back into the paint. This guy goes up for a layup, and he's right there with good positioning to block his shot, which is just, again, fantastic defensive awareness and instincts from Buzelis on a transition opportunity for the opposing team. Here's Buzelis here, and how many times have we talked about weak side rotation with this Bulls team, okay? Well, let me show you some good weak side defense, because right here, he sees that, oh, well, the guard rejected the screen, and they were clearly preparing for the guard to take the screen, because the big man is all the way over here. So they're trying to force the guard into an ice-type defense, and instead, he rejected the screen, and now this guy with the ball has a wide open lane to the rim. So Buzelis, again, defensive awareness, he's already looking at the ball, is well aware, okay, I need to come over and help on this sort of play. And he sees, okay, he has a line drive to the basket. I'm going to come off of my man over here, go over and contest this shot, and does a one heck of a job contesting it, gets the block shot. Just, again, like, this is stuff that, like, you can't necessarily teach, and you obviously can't teach his length and his good footwork and just his leaping ability. Like, that's just stuff that you can't really teach. And I'm just so happy to see that already he has these defensive instincts, okay? Now, in this possession, it's not going to be like a block shot at the rim, like, right off the bat that I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you his just good defensive awareness and how he has to move as the weak side defender, okay? Because right now, he is shifting me from being on the strong side to the weak side as the ball is going this way. But you're going to see, he's going to recognize, okay, well, this guy has a bit of a line drive to the basket because his man's on his back and he's rolling hard, okay? So you're going to recognize, or Buzelis is going to recognize that he's going to have to slide over here to take this away immediately, and he's going to have to recover, okay? So you see he shifts down just a little bit to take away this little lob pass in the paint. and he says, okay, the ball is now coming to my man, so I have to go out and recover now to my man, and don't come out on roller skates. He doesn't. He's able to stay in front of him. His guy does get a step on him, but his great length is able to recover from him, and he gets the block shot out of it, which is just crazy to look at. Like, that's awesome, and I'm just so excited for it. All right, now a lot of people have been talking about, okay, with Buzelis, some people are already saying like he could be like a good perimeter defender. I've been pretty adamant that I think he's a power forward or like a 4. And the reason why is because what I've shown you in these clips is his help side or his defensive instincts from being a help defender. Okay, I haven't really shown you much of him being on ball defensively, and I'm going to show you an example where he does good on ball defensively, but I don't think that's his best attribute. I actually think his best attribute is him being that help defender that can run out and recover onto his man pretty well, but also then be the help defender to take away passes to the inside big men, and then obviously be blocking shots. So here's an example where he does, he's like the main on-ball defender, and he stays in front of his man really, really effectively and completely just locks him up here. So he has the ability to do this, but I just think that he's just at his best in the clips that I showed you, where he's not the main guy defending the ball and him being the help defender. And this is an example why. So I'm going to show you in this play right here of why I personally don't want him to be running around trying to guard guys in the perimeter as much. Let me just show you, okay? So obviously this is his man. I don't know who this is. I apologize. But it's a simple little handoff play here. And the Ignite decide to switch this, which is fine, okay? So now Buzelis is now guarding the screener, who's the big man. And you're going to see here, Buzelis is going to have to roll with him as his man rolls to the paint, and then his guy that initially had the ball also goes to the paint. So bad spacing overall. But now you see that they kick it back out, and because Buzelis started on the guy on the perimeter in the first place, he's now also the main rotation guy to this guy. And so he has to then run out all the way to this guy and try to contest this shot. And to me, that's just not using Buzelis to the best of his abilities, because you're forcing him to stay on the perimeter and then run around and try to rotate to guys on the perimeter. Instead, I just think he should be just more, just near the paint or being in a weak side position to help. Because I think that's just going to put give opposing teams a lot of problems if he's the weak side help defender. But again, that's just me personally. And I'm aware that he's going to have to, even if he plays the 4, he's going to have to guard guys on the perimeter. But I would try not to have him in that position as much as possible. So, for example, here, he's actually now guarding the main big man here. And there's clearly a switch because you saw that there's a switch in this possession. But I'm going to roll it back. Sorry, I meant to pause. But on this play here, so this is the big man. And he's usually guarding this guy. But there's clearly a switch happening. But on this play here, just watch. Like, you see that him being the guy that's in the paint here, he's able to absorb this guy's drive and completely just mess up his shot at the basket, right? Okay, I mean, this guy had no chance of making a shot over him near the rim. That's why I'm like, put him as much in the paint as much as possible as the weak side help defender, because I think that's really where he's going to thrive on the defensive end. Then here's just an example of him locking up a guy where there is no screen and he is coming back out, and this is a typical spot for a 4 to be guarding in the corner. The guy catches the ball, tries to do a spin move on him, just blocked straight up. And also, I don't want him guarding guys that are pretty small in a sense, because while his length is helpful, I do think that smaller guys can probably get past him with their speed. So having him guard guys that are a little bit more slow-footed would be a good idea in my opinion, just in general, because his length is very, very good. So that's my biggest things in terms of Buzelis on the defensive end that I'm like really, really excited about. And now I'm going to shift over to the offensive end, and the main idea of these clips is to show you he is not what we like to call on this channel a catch and thinker. Okay, how many times have you guys heard that term used on this channel? Catch and think. The main culprit of the catch and think on the Chicago Bulls is Patrick Williams, because he just catches the ball and instead of shooting it or making a quick decision to drive or making just a quick pass, he decides to take a second and think what to do, and suddenly then he has no advantage. Okay, so let me show you just some examples of Buzelis just not even thinking about it, just straight up, I'm gonna go hard to the basket right when I get this ball. So a little screen here that his guy kind of rejected, but you see here this is a cut. But even if, let's say, Buzelis didn't, was not in cutting motion, he just would have went right to the basket. No thoughts about it, and he just finishes this strong. And I'm like, yes, This is what I want to see out of a forward on our team because, yeah, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But here's an example here where he just is coming off of a little of a screen, so it's a little down screen, and it's a little handoff play. And instead of him taking a second to think about it, he just goes, okay? Handoff, and just left-handed dribble, automatically, I am going right to the basket. These little live dribble things from Buzelis is very, very intriguing to me. And I already think that he's going to have this in his game on the offensive end, and he's gonna, that itself will fit you into any sort of offense in the NBA. Let's watch this example. So this is a little transition play, and you see Buzelis is coming up here in transition. So now it's like not transition anymore. And so he could shoot this, but quick decision, right? Fake pass, go right to the basket. Boom. No one's going to stop that. I love it. This is awesome. A guy that is 6'10" that can put the ball on the deck and doesn't have to think about it. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay. And I truly think this is where this is his strengths right now on the offensive end. So in this possession here, okay, you see that his man got double teamed here. Or the guy with the ball got double teamed, and his defender came in to come over and double team. So he's like, all right, go to the corner. I raised my hand. The pass is a little bit low, so I have to go down and get it. And even though the pass is low, he doesn't stop and think. He just fakes the shot and goes right to the basket and is able to finish over the defender. Again, it's quick decisions. This is what I want to see. And I just hope this doesn't go away, because that will be very, very sad if this does. So let's watch this play. The defense, as you see here, because this was a pick and roll, so there was just a simple like pick and roll action. He's the weak side on the offensive end, and so his weak side defender comes in to help guard the pick and roll. So Buzelis is wide open. So Buzelis, what does he do? Doesn't even stop and think about it. Catches the ball and shoots the three. I love it, and I'm aware of his 3-point percentage, but I do think that's gonna. First off, he's gonna have to work on it, but no hesitation on that shot. Like, I can't ask for much more, honestly. And if he just becomes like a respectable shooter, not like a great shooter, just a respectable shooter, yeah, we're doing things here with him at the 4. In this possession here, it's just, again, simple. How many times have I wanted this guy here for the Bulls, the guy that's like the first immediate pass out to shoot the ball, okay? I mean, this is not even that long of a pass, and his defender's not that far off, but he just shoots it. And, hey, look, good things happen when you just make quick decisions with the basketball, okay? And I'm even going to show you some possession. Oh, actually, no, sorry. This is another make, I believe. Or maybe not, but this is like a little like stagger screen set here that I like. One guy rolls hard, and you see Buzelis goes back out to the 3-point line. And, again, just no hesitation. Just no hesitation whatsoever. Yeah, he misses this one. And just launches it. And good. Keep doing that. And another example of it. His defender's paying no attention to him currently. So Buzelis is saying, hey, give me the ball. Look, he wants the ball. He's like, give it to me. And he is so confident that even his defender gets back out to him, he just shoots it. Like, this again is all I could ask for a dude that is 6'10" and has good length and can put the ball on the deck and just make good decisions. Like, that's it. I just need this. And he'll be very, very solid, like a very, very solid player just from this alone, in my opinion. Obviously, for him to take the next step is something different, but this is really already promising, because I think we kind of know some examples of where guys don't shoot the ball when they should, or just don't make a quick decision when they should. Okay. Now, moving into some stuff where I have some concerns, but I'm also putting this in the category of like, this stuff needs to be kind of on the back burner for him. Not necessarily this right here, but a little bit later. I'm going to show you some stuff that should be his, not as much of a priority for his development. So the reason why he needs to develop a shot, though, and this should be actually main priority for him, is just develop a good perimeter shot, is because of this. Because you see here, it's like a little pinch post action. He just decides, I'm going to fake the shot, and look, his defender jumps at it, which I don't know why he did that. That's just a bad decision. But if he actually has this jump shot and the defenders are scared of it, look what it does. Like, no one's going to stop him if the defender falls for the pump fake. So him getting that perimeter shot is just going to open up everything else for the rest of his game. So that should be priority number 1. But now I'm going to show you some examples here where it's his ball handling, where I think this should be more on the back burner. Stuff that should be worried about a little bit later when it comes to Buzelis. Worry about your three-point shot first and just getting stronger, which he said in his interview after he got drafted, which I'm very happy that he said those two things. Worry about this later. I think Buzelis' handles they're pretty solid for a dude that is 6'10", 6'9", but they are what I would call kind of stale. He doesn't really have much creativity with his dribbling, so nothing too much to talk about. But you see here in this possession, I don't really know what he's trying to do with his handling. So this is just an example of like bad handling. So this is the right to left crossover. Doesn't really create much separation then between the legs, and again, not much separation here. And he's kind of forced to take this really awkward shot. I think with at least Buzelis, the first thing he just needs to work on when it comes to his dribbling, just have like a solid crossover. We don't need to get like fancy with it. Just have like a solid crossover. If he's gonna try to take the next step when it comes to his ball handling. And here's another example, or actually no. So here's an example of something that is actually in his bag already. That we see a few times that he tries to do, which is he has this like little behind the back with his right hand that he's able to go ahead and use to help create a lane for him to finish, which that's pretty solid. Like I won't lie, and I hope that he can maybe work on this a little bit more, because that would catch a lot of defenders off guard. But as I said, he needs to work on it a little bit more, because he tries to do it again in this clip right here, and yeah. So I like the idea. If he has that, that's fantastic, because it's gonna really freeze a lot of defenders. But just stuff that he just needs to work on. And again, don't take this as like major criticism. I'm not trying to be like hypercritical of him. I'm just saying, like, hey, if we're gonna really truly talk about him becoming like a complete player, this is gonna have to be that major stepping stone, in my opinion. Obviously the three-point shot is gonna be huge, but that's main priority, okay? And that's just for him to become like a really solid player. But for him to become that like really complete player, this is gonna be the next step, in my opinion. I'm just showing you why. Okay, again, don't take this as like hypercriticism of him. Just saying, hey, I'm just pointing this out. This is something that he needs to work on, and he has plenty of time to work on it. But for him to take that next step, he needs to work on this sort of stuff. So, example here, this is where they run a pick and roll for him, and he's the ball handler. And this is just an example of him kind of dribbling to no man's land. Again, not a lot going on with the basketball or with his handling, and he just kind of dribbles to here. He's able to make the shot, so good for him, but not that great of a possession, honestly. And the reason why I'm showing you this also is because if you think that he's going to come in next season and have the ball in his hands a lot, I'm going to say that he doesn't. At least he shouldn't. Because if you're going to be asking him to initiate offensive sets, you're probably going to get a lot of this that I'm showing you right now, okay? Which, again, I don't want him to be thinking about initiating offensive sets next season. That, again, secondary thing to think about. First thing is just getting stronger, three-point shot, work on that first. But this is the type of stuff that he does need to work on. And the reason why I'm saying that he needs to work on this sort of stuff is because if he does have this in his bag, where he's able to create separation with his dribbling, you get stuff like this, okay? Look, just that simple little left to right crossover created all this space. And this time he actually did it pretty well. And suddenly now he has all this space to shoot, okay? Obviously, shot needs to get better, but you see here, he gets a shot off out of it, and he misses it, but that's okay. So, again, not saying that this needs to be a priority, just saying that just if he's going to become like that complete player, this is what he's going to have to really take that major stepping stone, because I think this is the area that he needs to improve on the most. And I'm aware that the G League gave him a lot of like time on ball to try to see what he can do, and I appreciate that they did that. But that's not something that I think should be really heavily focused on next season. Next season, it should be him focusing being a great help defender, work on his three-point shot, and how to fit in within an offense and not try to do too much with the basketball. So that's all I have for you guys in this video for the Buzelis breakdown. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.